Now, your first warned weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolfe.
Still some faint light out there with our SkyTrack camera overlooking Beloit, Wisconsin. Now that it's after 6:15, our sunset today was officially at 5:30. However, still holding on to at least a little bit of that light off in the distance and in the horizon with these later and later sunsets. We're also seeing that because of the clearing skies that we had. Those skies clearing following the passage of our weather system that was well off to our south, bringing all those snow showers that we mentioned earlier to portions of central Illinois as well as central Indiana. Locally, we only saw a few flurries as far north as I-88. Otherwise, the majority of us remained dry even throughout the majority of the afternoon. Now that system is departing out of the area, it is bringing in some cooler air. Already noticed just off to the north and the northwest, temperatures into the teens, and some of that air going to slowly filter in as we get into the night tonight with stronger northwest winds and Arctic high pressure getting a little bit closer to the region. This Arctic high pressure and these cooler temperatures, not something that we've really seen for quite a while. We've really been above average for a large majority of the month and even the large majority of the winter. Outside of that really cold stretch in January, we've been really above average, not only for December, but also the majority of February as well. And this last 2-week stretch has included some of those high temperatures in the 40s and even into the 50s for a few of those days. Now, I mentioned that because we really haven't seen some of this cooler air in quite a while. The last time that we actually had a day that we saw below average high temperatures was January 21st. That was when our high temperature was at 20 degrees. Officially, our high today, 33 degrees. Our average high temperature, 34. So we have a below average high temperature for the first time in almost a month. And that's about how long it has been since we have seen temperatures and wind chills about this cold as well. Our temperatures already in the 20s and 30s, 28 degrees in DeKalb, 28 Rochelle, 30 in Rockford, down to 21 out in Galena, and it feels like 6 degrees out there when you factor in that wind chill. Many spots going to feel similar chills once we get into the later part of the evening as well. Temperatures overnight tonight falling back down into the teens, 13 degrees underneath those clearing skies, leading to those wind chills that could be below zero at times with those stronger northwest winds that could gust close to 25 miles per hour during the night tonight, and those west winds tomorrow that could gust close to 30 miles per hour. Still holding on to breezy and chilly conditions tomorrow, but temperatures warm back up to 30 degrees. Our wind chills, however, will remain in the teens throughout that afternoon as we are still dealing with those winds that are fairly strong out of the west. Looking at those wind chills into the night tonight, our temperatures falling into the teens. Meanwhile, the wind chills could drop as low as 0 by the time we get close to midnight and will hover fairly close to that mark for the majority of those overnight hours. We do warm with those wind chills once we get into tomorrow afternoon, but only back up into the mid and upper teens before we eventually start to see some warming again as we get into the following day and into early next week. Our high temperatures tomorrow going to be only 30 degrees, pretty close to that mark for many of us. Saturday still the below average high temperatures, but we are back above average on Sunday with highs getting back up into the 40s and even into the 50s with close to 20 degree above average temperatures knocking on the door as we get into the early part and middle parts of next week. Reflected on the 7-day forecast as well, with lots of sunshine for the weekend, eventually warmer temperatures coming as well. 30 degrees on Saturday, 43 degrees on Sunday, and then, Eric, we even see a couple of those days into the 50s, but that does come with cloud cover and some chances for precipitation before another brief cool down late next week.
We'll take the clouds with those 50s. Jordan, thanks.